This is Dr. Panda.
Can we eat aliens? Do they taste good? Would they eat us? Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Panda, and in this video we're going to explore these questions. Can we eat alien meat? This is a dangerous question, because if after our discussion we conclude that we can eat aliens, then in turn, aliens could use the same logic to eat us. After all, in the eyes of aliens, we are the aliens. We might not even count as aliens, but just alien creatures. If the aliens are much smarter than us, Earthlings might not be able to reach their definition of a person. This is somewhat like on Earth, where pigs are, in fact, very intelligent animals with a higher IQ than dogs and cats. But generally, we don't define pigs as intelligent beings. So, discussing whether we can eat alien meat is a risky issue. However, if we want to discuss this problem, we must admit that aliens exist. In 1896, 40-year-old Tesla invented a wireless communication device. He believed that if the device was upgraded, it could be used to communicate with Martian life. 3 years later, in 1899, he believed he had detected signals from Mars. In 1960, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, abbreviated as SETI, began in multiple universities across the United States. In 1977, the Big Ear radio telescope at Ohio State University received a high-intensity signal that lasted for 72 seconds. The volunteer manning the workstation at the time, Jerry R. Ammon, was so thrilled after hearing the signal that he wrote "wow" next to it. This famous "wow" signal led some scientists to affirm the existence of aliens. With the energy crisis and pollution making Earth unsuitable for survival, it is feared that humans might indeed have to leave Earth for an extraterrestrial planet. Whether it's for colonization or to find a new home, the movie Avatar tells the story of humans going to Pandora, only to wreak havoc with forced relocations and ultimately facing resistance from the natives. If the scenarios in the movie truly transpire, then this dangerous question becomes very realistic. What kind of alien meat is edible? To answer this question, we first need to consider what aliens are composed of. If aliens are made of hard stones, then clearly we wouldn't be able to consume these stones. Imagine a creature that lives deep within the Earth's crust in high-temperature environments. Their bodies composed of crystal-like structures. They breathe out tiny grains of sand and leave behind a piece of hard stone with each step they take. These creatures are referred to as silicon-based life forms. Silicon is one of the most abundant elements in the universe. In 1891, 8 years before Nikola Tesla proposed he detected signals from Martians, the astrophysicist Julius Schiener from the University of Potsdam wrote an article about the possible existence of silicon-based life. This was the first scientific proposition of silicon-based life. The Horta from the series Star Trek are an example of silicon-based beings. These stone-like aliens, which essentially consume rocks, breathe out silicon dioxide, just as carbon-based organisms exhale carbon dioxide. Clearly, as carbon-based life forms with flesh and bone, humans are unable to consume silicon-based life forms, which are akin to beings of steel, even if they may be rich in a variety of minerals. To add, the majority of rocks or minerals cannot be consumed by humans. This is because our stomachs don't have the necessary enzymes to digest them. There are a very small amount of minerals that can indeed be digested by humans. Among the digestible, or rather edible rocks, some are used as food additives, such as salt, baking soda, sodium borate, and methyl ether. Calcite is also edible, but it's not good for the teeth. Some minerals can cause diarrhea, so they are used as laxatives, like magnesium sulfate and hydrated sodium sulfate. There are also minerals that are highly toxic, such as barium carbonate and arsenates. These poisonous minerals have already proven their lethality in ancient China, where emperors obsessed with the elixir of life paid with their lives. Hence, these toxic minerals are sometimes also used as rat poison. So, if the environment on an alien planet is similar to Earth's, and aliens also evolved to be carbon-based life forms like us, does this mean that their meat is edible? This is situation dependent. We know that hair, skin, and muscles of an organism are composed of proteins. The basic unit of protein is the amino acid, and all amino acids on Earth are left-handed, exhibiting right-hand properties. Long-term evolution on Earth has made all life forms on this planet capable of only taking in left-handed amino acids and right-handed sugars. Hence, if the proteins constituting extraterrestrial life are right-handed, that is, opposite to the structure on Earth, although they can be digested by our gastric juice, our bodies cannot absorb these molecules as proteins. Enzymes in our body, a type of protein, also have a left-handed structure, so they cannot process these right-hand proteins. If these proteins enter the human body, they cannot be converted into energy, nor can they become components of our cells. One might argue that people do not only eat for nourishment but also for taste, for stimulation. So, is it possible to eat alien meat purely for its taste and stimulation? However, there may be a minor issue here. During your eating process, the taste buds on your tongue might not be able to detect the flavor profile of these amino acid molecules. Conversely, aliens with right-handed molecular structures might also not be able to decipher the taste of human food. Thus, at present, we can conclude that, for aliens to be edible, we must assume that these extraterrestrial beings are also carbon-based life forms composed of sugars, proteins, fats, DNA, and muscle tissue, and that the organic molecules making up their bodies have a left-handed structure. Consequently, from a physiological standpoint, alien meat could be edible. Should humans consume aliens? In human ethical systems, one of the most fundamental moral imperatives is cannibalism. Humans should not consume other humans. Portraying someone as terrifying often involves characterizing them as a cannibal. The most dreadful circumstance for an intelligent being is not being treated as a commodity or a slave, but as food. When a creature possesses intelligence, its value should manifest in its intellect, not in its potential to satiate physical hunger. If an intelligent being is seen as food, its most precious part, intelligence, is disregarded. Hence, from both moral and value perspectives, consuming aliens is untenable. However, the question remains, what kind of extraterrestrial beings would we deem as intelligent life forms? In other words, which aliens would we regard as equivalent to humans? It's not a straightforward task. For instance, extraterrestrial beings could be a degenerate state of life existing on a neutron star. They might be tiny, about the size of a sesame seed, but weigh as much as an average adult human. Even though these beings might be too hard for us to chew due to their high density, their small size would make chewing unnecessary. If your digestive tract is resilient enough, you might consider swallowing a few. Unless otherwise, such high-density particles would likely pass straight through you, earning the literal interpretation of going through you like a dose of salts. It's critical to remember to only consume these on the neutron star, otherwise they could cause an explosion, leaving nothing of you behind. The universe is vast and extraterrestrial beings may take forms beyond human comprehension. Besides the silicon-based or boron-based life forms that we've mentioned previously, there are entirely possible scenarios of life existing in forms such as plasma-based life, or even as beings of pure consciousness. Before truly understanding a biological group, we might simply regard them as extraterrestrial organisms, rather than extraterrestrial intelligent beings. Would aliens eat us? If aliens visited Earth, would they consider us to be intelligent beings? Today, it's fairly simple for us to travel to a village in South America to observe bees. We can use our smartphones for navigation, take fast modes of transport like airplanes, and reach the bees' habitat within 24 hours. But for the bees, the arrival of humans is akin to visitors from another world, with our aircraft resembling something as advanced as warp drive engines. Of course, while we visit to observe the bees, we may not directly harm them, but we might destroy things that are crucial to them. This is because our intelligence operates on a different level to that of the bees, hence we care about different things. We might think we are helping the bees, but ultimately we could bring great disasters upon them. In the face of powerful extraterrestrial life forms, humans might be as insignificant as these bees. It's worth noting that, despite their small size, bees are among the most formidable creatures in nature. A bee can easily lift an object 300 times its body weight, whereas even strong human beings like Mariusz Pudzianowski may struggle to lift something 5 times their weight. Of course, this is relative strength. In a real comparison, How could bees possibly stand up to humans? However, considering the wonders that bees and other small creatures can create, along with their biological structures, isn't human civilization similar? Faced with a more powerful alien civilization, human civilization might also appear fragile and insignificant. But our optimism for civilization lies in the fact that, as humanity has developed, moving from savagery to showing respect and admiration for different human tribes and animal species, then it's conceivable that alien beings, far surpassing the level of human civilization, would likely understand to respect and appreciate Earthlings even more. In 2012, Jill Tarter, the director of the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, SETI project, made a statement suggesting that if aliens visited Earth, they would merely be coming to observe or simply to explore our planet. Because if they could reach Earth, it indicates that their technological level is sufficiently advanced to not require slaves, extra food, or to dominate a planet. Considering the vast history of the universe, it's probable that aliens might have explored other human civilizations before visiting Earth. From this perspective, we should be relieved that aliens will most likely not consider us as food. Similarly, if human civilization advances to the point of being able to explore distant planets, our technological level would also rise to a point where we would not rely on alien beings as a food source. By then, our purpose for visiting other planets could be for exploration and communication, not for alien invasions like in Starship Troopers, nor for resource plundering on other planets as depicted in Interstellar. And that's a wrap for this episode of the video. I'm DR.RED Panda. If any of you have your own perspectives, or if you think there are any errors in the video, feel free to leave a comment in the discussion section. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe and give it a thumbs up. Until next time, take care.